unless you do something different, it's going to be very difficult to make money. I think, as Einstein said, the worst thing you can do is do the same things over and over again and get the same result, and if you don't make changes. So bright farming for us is making changes and doing something positive and innovative. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy. I am the CEO of Monix Financial Services, but I'm also a farmer with a tie. I came from a farming background. I went into business. I love both sides of it. I'm extremely lucky. I now can actually handle both. And with the Vector system and the management information, I can actually see what's going on around the world. I have Áine looking after the farm on my behalf, but both are just as important to me.
Vector plays a very important role, because when I come in the morning, the first thing I go for is the animals. Whereas normal farmers, the first thing they have to do is go feeding them because they're hungry. So when they come in the morning, everything is calm because they have food in front of them. So the idea of Vector is it feeds little amounts all day long.
Primarily, it was the innovation that I saw in Holland when I arrived into the first dairy shed, that this machine could actually feed any formulation that you actually wanted, could even actually segregate between the pens of where you actually wanted to put the particular feed. And at the same time, while it was actually out, it was actually checking and pushing in the feed for the other animals. So it was that total flexibility, no tracks, no wires, nothing else like that, and your shed was actually completely free of all those obstacles, and it could actually travel to other sheds as well apart from your main shed. But it was the total flexibility and the innovation approach that was actually available from the robot, and really there was actually no other competition to it that I could actually find.
In our feed kitchen, it's all individual blocks. I have the floor marked, and so the block goes in dead on the lines, and I fill my kitchen every 2 days. So the food is always fresh, and we have no problem with it heating because we cut off the face of the pit in a block. So there is no air getting at it, so we have very little problems with heating as it sits there for 2 days. There's very little wastage, so it's a very efficient service. It's wonderful. With the T4C, it can give you your average of feed per day and cost per day. So as I move animals in and out of my system, I would change the settings, the number of animals on the T4C, but because I have it on my phone, I don't always have to go to the computer. I can just do it here, because when you say you do it later never happens. So right on the spot, I can change 17 animals gone out, 20 animals coming in, so I can readjust my numbers in my pins. If I'm out on a Saturday night and my buyer tells me he's bringing animals in, I can just find a quiet corner and take out my phone and turn on the pin for feeding so that there'll be food there when they arrive. So it just makes life much easier and more enjoyable, not having to be thinking about the farm every evening.
At least every week, Áine and I would meet and we would go through the reports. We will always put the costings into the Vector system, and that can actually give us very quickly the report at the end of the week, which is waiting for us, what the total tonnage of feed that we've actually used, but primarily the cost of it as well.
Give yourself 5 minutes, and it's extremely easy to use. But when you just look at it first, it looks so complicated, and anybody I've had here on work experience, give them 5 minutes of training on it, and I can send them off to do something on it, and there's no problem.
The feeling it brings to me is, I'm obviously an accountant now. I was originally a farmer, but the accountancy does help to actually make a profit from the farming, so I love my reports. Could we do without Vector? No. Since we started with Vector, there is no way we could do without it. We just love it. It's working very well. It's been enhanced the whole time. It's always getting better, and we can see those differences. So I'm very happy I made the right decision, and certainly we have no plans to make any future changes. Maybe we might even buy a second one.